Okay, this question is asking us to duplicate graph hx and find its derivative. So the derivative, or that thick thing, is about the gradient. So we might have done this before. All right, the m is the gradient. So at any point, if we draw a line next to it, that kind of indicates the gradient there. All right, now we can have three types. A positive if we put the ball and it wants to roll to the left. 0 if it's stationary, and stationary points. And minus if the ball wants to roll to the right. Now this question is auto-generated, so try and give this your best shot. Click the solutions and see what you get. Okay, so do that now. Otherwise, keep listening. And what we want to do when graphing is all about putting the key dots in and then joining the dots. That's all you have to do. So the key dots for us are here, 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 and here. So the far left and the far right are always going to be our dots. And then the other interesting points are just before we hit this x asymptote of x is equal to -1, where the graph cannot cross. So this graph would be represented like this. Okay, cool. So now that we've put that in, we then find the gradient of each of them. So the gradient of this one is almost 0, but it's got a slight negative value to it. All right, so what we can do is put a slight negative value, okay? And then if we go to the next one, we draw the gradient through there, we see it's got a very negative value. So we can replace that with a very negative value. If we go to the right, we see that we also have a negative value. So it should exist there. Okay, and then finally, we go across to here, and that one's got an almost 0 gradient, but it's got just a slight negative gradient to it. So the ball will want to roll to the right. So we can draw that as here. Okay, and now if we connect the dots, we can do so like this. So if you notice, I don't touch the x-axis, so I guess technically I touched it there, so I will go across there, and that's how we do it. So we cannot touch this x-axis, we cannot touch that. We cannot touch this x-asymptote as well. Perfect. Putting in your arrows, that'll give you full marks. So again, this question is auto-generated. Give it a shot and then hit the scroll down, hit the generate a similar question, and you'll be able to see the potential solutions for similar questions.